Well, hey, and welcome to a really rather special review. As you can see, this isn't quite so much a review, well it is, but it's also a big thank you to Nick, who runs the LMS 16440 channel. Nick is a great friend. I've known him more or less since day one, and something he does, which is really sweet, is he gets me birthday and Christmas presents every year without fail. And so over the years I've built up this collection of rolling stock and locomotives that have come from just Nick and nowhere else. And Nick has a particular love for the smaller locomotives in the world. Not the great big Pacifics or LNER express trains. He likes the smaller ones. And what he's got here, what he's given to me, which I think may have been for my birthday or maybe even Christmas last year, I can't remember, is an Ivatt tank. Now, it's a class 2 as far as I believe. It took quite a little bit of research actually, and because it's a second-hand model, there's no instructions or anything with it. So if I just put it to one side and I go over to the trusty tablet, here we go. Yes, there we go. It's an LMS Ivatt Class 2, and she's a 262. As you can see, 2.6, and trust me, if I just take off the lid, yeah, you can see that there's 2 at the back as well. So what do we know about it? Okay, well, she was designed by Henry Ivatt, who is a proper LMS and London North Western kind of guy. They're pretty powerful little locomotives actually, just looking at that data there. LMS type 7 apparently, 200 psi of boiler pressure. Tractive effort of 17,400 pounds, that's quite a bit. Built at Crew Works and Derby, I can't zoom in there, but yeah, Crew Works and Derby Works. So it looks like it's quite a nice little locomotive, doesn't it? And I just love how Nick finds these things. They're locomotives I wouldn't even look twice at, but he just finds them and says, hey, look, try this out, you'll enjoy it. And you know what, he's probably right. So we'll have a look at that in a second, but as I say, he gets me rolling stock too, and he's got me some rolling stock here. I think it's all from S&J Models. And we've got a well tank with a tank on it. A well tank? That's a locomotive. We've got a well, oh gosh, what's it called now? It's got this sunken bit in the middle, you see. What's it called? Oh, it's really annoying me, I can't think. Does it tell you? It's just a well wagon. There we go. It's just, you can get a well tank, you see. And the BT well tank is a locomotive that keeps the water in the bottom. In a well, underneath, yeah, a tank underneath the locomotive. But yes, here we have a GWR well wagon with bogie well wagon GWR dark grey. Okay, that doesn't really make much sense. But anyway, it's a GWR, if I just put the rest of the stuff out of shot, it's a GWR well wagon, I guess then. Designed obviously for really heavy loads such as this tank. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know if it would actually hold a tank on it like that, but apparently the history is that it came into the shop, but because it's been modified quite heavily, it couldn't be sold on again or something like that. I don't know, although I have seen things like this for sale in other shops. So well, anyway, it's really rather nice, isn't it? Great Western, and, well, not NEM couplings, but they are slimline tension locks, so they're really nice and small, which is good. I think he's probably screwed it in, hasn't he? Look at that, wow. Whoever did it has screwed the tank in. Well, I say he, it could be a she, but it was probably a he. And, gosh, even that moves. That's so cool. It's a pretty funky tank actually. It's really rather nicely done. Manitou. crocodile. Is that what it's called? Is it a crocodile wagon? Or is that the designer? I really don't know. You can tell I've done my research. And what does it say there? Something about 45 tons. The tank probably weighs more than that. Although, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But there we have. Yeah, probably the most unique piece of rolling stock I have. A tank in a Great Western well wagon. But it's nice, it's different. As I say, Nick does this. He gets stuff that I totally wouldn't even consider. I just would never look at. So we'll put that on the track later, won't we? We'll have to have a look at that later. He also got me these tankers. Look at them. Now, I'm sure I got him some tankers a while ago as a present. But he's managed to get some for me as well. They are 14-ton tank wagons in Esso black, and they're weathered, apparently. So, again, locomotive to one side. Let's just have a quick look at these. Wow, gosh, are they brand new? They're even sellotaped up. I'm not used to that. There we go. Well, I don't need to get them all out, do I? Let's just get one of them out. Oh, these are nice. Look at that. That is beautiful. It's definitely Esso, and it's definitely weathered. Look at the dirt and the grime and the oil on it. Oh, beautiful. And hey, look at that. Dovetail NEM pockets as well, with really nice slim tension lock couplers in. Fantastic. That is a lovely little tanker. That is a lovely little tanker, lovely little tank wagon, and we've got 3 of them, which is brilliant. I'm going to have to try and get hold of some more so I can make up a really big rake, but that is beautiful. So I shall put those on the track as well, and I shall have a look at them once I've ran the locomotive in, I suppose. So getting back to the locomotive then, getting back to this Ivatt class 2, that's right, it was class 2, wasn't it? Well, how many of them were built? You can see the camcorder there. 130! Whoa! They made 130 of these things between 1946 and 1952. Gosh. Okay, so let's take the lid off and then carefully get... yeah, I was just going to say there's probably a hole, but there's no instructions. I didn't think there would be. Oof, quite a tight fit. Not very nice packaging, to be honest. Well, the detail of this model really is quite nice. I mean, it is second-hand, as 90% of the stock in S&J models is, but it's been well looked after, you can tell, and it really is in nice condition. Just look at the linkage and the wheels there, the coupling rods, they're all fantastic, and it's the same story on the other side too. Look, there we go. She does look a little bit grimy, she looks a little bit dirty. I don't know if that's deliberate, I think it probably is. It looks like she's been weathered, kind of. But I'm happy with that. She looks really realistic, to be honest. She's got the vacuum tubing already in place on the front there. The buffers, oh gosh, I was going to say that they're sprung, but no, they're not. No. Ooh, that's a first for Bachmann. No, the buffers are not sprung. Maybe she's just old. Maybe she was built before they started to do sprung buffers as standard. But as I say, she has got... well, I was going to say she's got NEM couplings. She hasn't, has she? No, she hasn't got NEM couplings either. She's got really nice, slim tension lock couplings, but they are not NEM. So it would be quite difficult if you wanted to change this over to a knuckle coupling system, such as that by Cady. So maybe she's probably 2003, 2002, 2004, something like that. Basically before things like sprung buffers and NEM couplings became standard. But she's really heavy. Seriously, I mean, she's hurting my arm. She's that heavy. She's probably the heaviest small loco I've ever held. Well, I say small. She is quite big, isn't she, in her own right? She's really quite impressive. She's a gorgeous tank locomotive. There's a little guy in the cab there. I assume that he was there before. If someone's put him in, then that's quite impressive. Do these top bits move? No, I don't think they do. But the model is literally covered with rivets. There's rivets all over the place. We've got a BR late crest graphic there. She's number 41233, so she's clearly been numbered after, you know, the nationalisation of everything, as you can tell. The cylinder detail is particularly nice, as is all the detail around the smoke box. Just look at that. I mean, look at all the rivets on the on the front there, the sole bar, the buffer beam. Absolutely fantastic. And we've even got little steps. I assume that the previous owner has applied most of this detail because, as I say, there's the braking mechanism in the bottom. So I assume that the previous owner really went to town in making the model look as realistic as possible. And we've even got a little lamp on the back. That is brilliant. But just look at the grime there. I think it's been weathered. I think it's been deliberately weathered and made to look realistic and old and a bit tatty, a bit uncared for. Sadly, many of the locomotives were a bit tatty and uncared for as steam was being wound down and they were switching over to diesel. I don't know. But yeah, she's really quite nice, isn't she? She's quite a nice model. So if you do come across any of these in your travels, be they first, you know, brand new hand, or be they second hand, I do recommend them. They do look the part. What I'm keen to find out is how well she runs. Okay, so here I am at the layout. Thanks for joining me. Sorry about the light levels. It's starting to go dark outside. I've just been doing so many videos today. But I will persevere and get it done and do the best I can for you. And then afterwards I think I'm going to go and do some special Christmas stuff for you. So let's get this tank locomotive on the track. I really do like it, you know. I think it is really quite smart. It's something I would never consider usually, but Nick, he has this ability of making me fall in love with locomotives I've never even heard of before. So she's on the track. I haven't had much luck with my other reviews today. They've had to have work done to them before I could complete the review. However, hopefully this one's going to be okay. Those could be my famous last words. Let's see. Oh no, she works. And again, this is probably the first time, you know, that she's ran in ages, but just look at that. Ooh, it is a little bit grindy. I'll give you that. I'll grant you that. She is a little bit grindy. Sounds like she could do with a little bit of a service. Okay, well, I tell you what I will do, seeing as she's not too bad. We'll get her running around the layout for a bit and we'll get her warmed up and see how she performs. And then we'll run her through a full service afterwards and lubricate all the parts that need to be lubricated and stuff like that. And then maybe we'll get pulling a train. Yeah, it'd be good to see her pulling her train. So, take it away, little Ivatt tank. And there she goes. Not too bad, eh? Considering how old she is and that she's probably not been serviced in ages. She's actually running pretty well. Oh, excuse the mega boxes, they're waiting for another video. Okay, so here she comes. Yeah, that's not bad. To say, she's not been ran in an awful long time. And, well, she's coping really well, to be honest. And this is slow speed as well. I'm sure she can go quicker than this. Okay, well she's definitely warmed up now. She's running beautifully actually. These are the famous killer express points with a huge dead zone, and on the proper layout they're not used, but I love them being on this layout because they're a great way of testing a locomotive's ability to deal with them. So if I just get her to back up really slowly, you can see just how well she copes with the dead zones. Look at this. Look at that. That's really slow. There are so many locomotives that would just completely die going over points like this at that speed. In fact, for a DC locomotive, that's incredible. She's not been serviced yet, and she's running this well. This is one good little model. So how about we get her to back up onto some tankers, and then, oh, and the well tank, the well wagon. I keep calling it a well tank. The well wagon with the tank on it. Okay, so here we are back at where I usually put locomotives onto the track. I would love to use a siding, but the sidings have all got stuff in them at the moment, so I can't, and they're all kind of facing the wrong direction. So there we have the tank in its well wagon. Yay, got it right. And then 3 tankers. So it's a bit of an odd train, it has to be said. I don't think it's prototypical, and it's certainly quite dangerous should fire accidentally break out somewhere on it. But we'll ignore that for now. Okay, and we'll get the locomotive to back up onto it now. It's just coming. I should usually put a brake van as well on the end, I think, and maybe even a barrier wagon in front of the tank. But again, we'll just make do for now. I think it'll be okay. So there we go. It's coupled up, and let's take this really rather unusual train away. Well, doesn't she look ace? Just look at that. How cool is that? It's such an odd little train, but it looks really cool, and, well, the locomotive is doing a fantastic job of pulling it. Such a nice, gentle pace, not too fast, not too slow. It's just, it's great. Well, here she comes around the last bend, and there we have it. That is the Ivatt train. Oh, a little bit further. Beautiful. The boom train. I'm going to call it the boom train because one bullet and the whole thing will go up like Hiroshima or something. But yeah, despite being really quite odd and dangerous, it's a fantastic little train and such a beautiful locomotive. In real life, I guess she would have been used for various tasks really, so small passenger trains and probably the odd bit of freight. And I will do more videos on her in the future. I'm going to do loads of steam running videos. You know, I've still got to put the Midland compound with coaches and stuff, so I will get her running more trains in the future. She really is a fantastic little locomotive, and that's without a service. Gosh, she's so old, but runs so well. Brilliant. So thank you, Henry Ivatt, for giving us this wonderful little tank locomotive here. And thank you, Nick, for giving me all this and it just being so awesome. Thank you.